Alright, so the Eagles' Week 1 showdown with the Packers is almost here, and just ahead of that, head coach Nick Sirianni made a guarantee for the Eagles' offense, as he's 100% confident that they've solved one key problem that plagued them last year, and if they have, it'll be huge for the Birds' offensive success this season. Meanwhile, safety CJ Gardner-Johnson backed up his head coach ahead of the matchup, as he gave a great endorsement to Nick Sirianni and praised him after an offseason filled with criticism. And Chauncey also expressed his excitement for the Week 1 opener against the Packers. Speaking of which, what are the keys to the Eagles coming away with the win? Well, we're going to dive into that as well as all the other latest Eagles news right before the Week 1 opener, starting right now. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Philly Fan 21 channel. If you're new, I'm Evan and I cover all things Philadelphia Eagles, and it's official. Both the Eagles and the Packers have made the trip down to Sao Paulo ahead of their Friday night matchup, as both teams arrived on Wednesday night after flying for pretty much the entire day, and the Birds also practiced on Thursday just ahead of the game. And now, as of the time of this recording, we have just one more day to go before the NFL's first ever Brazil game, and I'm just so excited because football is back and the Philadelphia Eagles have a chance to do something special. And just a day ahead of the season opener, the Eagles gave fans even more of a reason to be excited as they dropped their official kickoff hype video for the season, and it was pretty unique.
Yo!
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 Yo! Yo!
Yo! Oi! No.
Yo, Mike.
Yo!
Now, I'd say it was more funny than hype in all honesty, but I honestly didn't mind it, and of course, I love the inclusion of Kelsey and Fletch, so I don't know, could it have been better? Yes, but still, just seeing the Eagles drop their official kickoff video just got me even more pumped than I already was for this game. But it's obviously not just the fans who are excited about the opener, the Eagles players are pretty excited too. And one guy in particular that is pretty pumped for the Birds matchup with the Packers is safety CJ Gardner-Johnson, as he's a guy that we know always brings the energy and the juice, whether it's game day or just a practice. I mean, we've seen it throughout the summer during training camp, for example, in these clips when he was mic'd up at practice.
Oh, yeah, I'm inside that. Sick! Hey! Hey! Shut your ass up, boy. As a TFL.
And of course, seeing this was the furthest thing from unexpected, as this is just who Gardner-Johnson is. He's the same guy we all remember and love that was here back in 2022 when he helped the Eagles' pass defense become the top-ranked group in the league and also just heavily contributed to the Birds' success on their run to Super Bowl 57, while also bringing his constant energy and attitude, which is one of the things that makes CJ such a valuable guy to have in the locker room. And this game will be the first time CJ has played for the Eagles since the Super Bowl loss to the Chiefs, and safe to say he's pretty excited for it.
To be honest with you, it feels good. I mean, it's like a family reunion. So, I mean, go out there. To be honest with you, I just want to give the fans a nice show. We out in Brazil. You know, our Philly fans going to love it regardless. Win or lose or draw, it doesn't matter. But going to Brazil, put on a jersey that I put on 2 years ago to go to the Super Bowl is going to be phenomenal.
I just love how much CJ truly seems to enjoy playing for the Eagles and how much he just cherishes playing for this city in this organization. And again, this is one of those things that has just made him a fan favorite here in Philadelphia, along with, of course, the energy and the toughness and the trash talk and even the leadership that he brings, which is something that Nick Sirianni mentioned recently. I mean, all that stuff is just added value when it comes to CJ on top of the value that he obviously brings with just his play on the field, as Gardner-Johnson's a hard-hitting safety who isn't afraid to tackle somebody and who's also a ball hawk as well. So I just cannot wait to watch Gardner-Johnson in an Eagles uniform once again, and I can't wait to see what kind of impact he's going to make in this first game. But while we talk about CJ and his attitude being important, partially because it rubs off on the other guys, there's another guy who is even more important in the exact same way, and that is head coach Nick Sirianni, as of course being the head coach, it's his job to get the team thinking the right way and focusing on the right things for each and every game, and it's also his job to just build a great winning culture. And CJ Gardner-Johnson seems to think that Nick has done a fantastic job with that, as he talked about what Sirianni's leadership truly means to this team and just why he's so important for them.
We all feed off of Coach Nick. We all backing Coach Nick. We already understand. He set the standard. We go out there and we live through him. Like I said, it's coach-fed, player-led. I think the biggest thing for us this year is understanding who we are and chiming out the outside noise. We know what we're capable of. We know we're one of the best teams roster put together in the league. We got to go out there and prove it. X's and O's ain't gonna win the game. It's all about going out there, physically battling, and doing what we need to do for quarters.
So first off, CJ is right in the sense that despite them having a ton of talent on paper, that alone will not get it done, so they're going to have to prove it. But I also honestly just love hearing CJ give his head coach credit for that mindset, and also just in general, I love hearing him give Nick credit, because with all the criticism of Sirianni's performance last season, I mean rightfully so, but still, along with his adjusted role this year and just all the outside noise surrounding him, it's great to hear a player make it clear that what Nick does is crucial, and he's in a lot of ways a driving force for this team. And of course, after hearing this answer, the media leaned into the Sirianni drama even more and asked CJ about the outside noise surrounding him, but CJ wasn't having any of it, as he backed up Sirianni in what was just a perfect response.
You shut the door and you work. You shut the door on people that ain't supposed to be in here. That's not saying me. We're talking about shut the door on the outside noise, and let the noise just be outside while we inside working.
Well, I mean, like when you say you're behind Nick, is it a rally behind Nick to show additional support?
We ain't showing you guys nothing. Us going out there and winning a football game is showing y'all that Coach Nick is doing everything he need to do for this team. Going out there and just competing at a high level, and like I said, scoring football on offense, stopping guys on defense. That's what Coach Nick's preaching. That's what we're gonna do. So we're always behind our play. Our talk don't mean nothing.
Just again, I love hearing Chauncey back up his head coach like this, and he's also right in what he's saying in that talk doesn't mean anything, and rather if the Eagles are prepared week in and week out and able to perform at a high level and to the standard that Sirianni has laid out for them, then that shows you that Nick is doing his job, in addition to just the level of connection and chemistry that the team has. And in my opinion, this is going to be a storyline to follow as the season goes on. Can Nick Sirianni win back the favor of the city of Philadelphia? And while we'll have to wait to see how things look at the end of the season to get an answer on that, getting a win on Friday night would certainly be a great start for him. And one thing that will help the Eagles pull out the win against the Packers is their performance in one key area on offense. And Nick Sirianni actually recently made a guarantee that they will be successful at it. And don't worry, we're going to get into that and so much more in just a minute, but real quick, I do want to say, if you are enjoying this video and you don't want to miss any other Eagles coverage or content coming throughout this entire season, then make sure you guys subscribe, and also really importantly, turn on notifications so you're notified instantly when one of these videos is uploaded. I think that's a win-win for the both of us, because not only do I get more people consistently watching these videos, but you don't miss any other Eagles coverage or content just like this. So again, subscribe, turn on notifications, and also drop a like. Let's see if we can hit 800 likes on this video. And now with all that being said, let's get back into the video. So obviously, if you'll remember back to last season, one of the Eagles' biggest problems, especially at the end of the year, was finding answers against the blitz. I mean, those last two games especially were absolutely brutal, as the Giants and Bucs just blitzed the crap out of the Eagles, and they had absolutely no answers for it. In large part because the Eagles' offense was just a whole bunch of longer developing routes down the field, instead of having hot reads and checkdowns over the middle available for Hurts to go to when he didn't have much time. But it sounds like under the new offensive leadership of Kellen Moore, that will not be a problem for the Birds this year, as Nick Sirianni had a recent interview with Tony Dungy where he not only explained that the Eagles have worked extremely hard to fix these issues, but he also pretty much guaranteed that the Eagles will be successful against the blitz this year.
Well, I think the important thing to understand is people will take that strategy against us this year, and we understand that. We know that, because once you show something that a team has done well against you, you're going to keep seeing it. We're going to have success. We've worked so hard against this blitz. And we've put ourselves in position to be able to have success, but we have to understand what's going to happen is it's going to keep coming, right? It's going to keep coming. It's going to keep coming. It's going to keep coming, and we just got to keep doing the things we need to do to knock it, to knock it out. And sometimes that answer is different, right? The answer can't be
depending
the same.
On who you're playing.
Exactly,
right?
It can't be the same every time, right? Because in this league, people find out your weaknesses and and your tendencies, and they'll attack them. And so the answer can be different. It can be, all the different things that to stop a blitz. As you can see, I'm dancing around the question. I'm not gonna put all our.
But I'm thinking as a defensive coach, that's what I'm gonna do. Jalen is such a great decision maker, and he puts pressure on you. If I can get the ball out of his hands fast, whatever that is.
Yeah. And that's our job as coaches, to put these guys in positions to make plays and have different options, because not always does plan one work. Sometimes it has to go to plan two, sometimes it's got to go to plan three, sometimes it's got to go to plan four, as you know, Coach. And And so we have to have all those things ready to go, and our guys then have to go and execute.
I honestly loved everything that I heard from Nick there. I love the confidence he expressed in talking about how they're going to handle the blitz. I love the confidence to guarantee that they will have success against it because of how hard they've worked at it. And I also love the acknowledgement that it's up to them as coaches to put the players in the best positions to succeed, to put Jalen Hurts in a position where he has options to go to against the blitz. And that's really the attitude that I'm looking for from Sirianni moving forward. I mean, look, it's no secret that he did not do a good enough job last year making adjustments and providing answers against things like the blitz, but the only thing that he can do now is to take accountability for his shortcomings and improve. And that started in the first meeting of the offseason where he took full accountability for how things went last year in front of the entire team, and it's continued throughout the whole offseason until now. And assuming they did get things fixed against the blitz, while a lot of that is Kellen Moore, Sirianni also does deserve some credit as well for allowing adjustments to be made, and he still does have a hand in the offense even if it's a bit smaller than in the past. So I'm personally excited to follow Sirianni throughout the year to see if he's able to bounce back from a rough season, and I'm also super excited to just watch the Eagles offense and how they're going to handle the blitz, because you know the Packers are going to bring the heat on Friday night, but it sounds like the Birds are ready for it. But handling the blitz won't be the only key to the Eagles coming away with a win to open the season, as offensively, the Birds have several things that they're going to have to do to give themselves the best chance to win. One being that the Eagles' elite wide receivers are just going to have to take advantage of matchups with lesser Packers corners, not named Jair Alexander. Now, I'm not saying the likes of A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith can't have success against Alexander, but it'd be much easier to go at some of the more unproven guys like Eric Stokes and Keyshawn Nixon. And I'm extremely confident that the Eagles can have success passing the football in this game, especially with Jalen Hurts looking like he's going to take another step up, and also with the addition of Jahan Dotson, who could have an impact in this game as well. But what's perhaps more important than throwing the football well is running it well, as Saquon Barkley figures to have a heavy workload week in and week out for the Eagles, and this week specifically in his debut, he's going up against a defense that was ranked 28th against the run last year, so theoretically, he should be able to have a lot of success. And if the Eagles are able to run the ball effectively and move the ball up and down the field in that way, then that's a recipe for them to control the game and keep the ball away from a Packers offense that can be explosive. And also, staying with the offense, I'd say another big key is for the offensive line to slow down what can be an elite Packers pass rush, as they got some really good players on their line, including Kenny Clark, Preston Smith, and Rashawn Gary. So it's certainly going to be a tough task for the Eagles offensive line, but they are very good themselves, and if they can neutralize the best part of the Packers defense, then they should be set up very nicely to have a lot of offensive success. And then on defense, the Birds are going to have to do a few things as well, starting with getting pressure on the quarterback Jordan Love, as of course we all know that the Eagles always build their defense around the D-line, so they're going to have to do their job and dominate this game. However, there are definitely some question marks on the D-line this year, so it's going to be interesting to see who steps up, and perhaps the guy they're relying on the most is Jalen Carter. But he says that he's ready to go out and perform even with all the pressure that he's under.
I feel good. I feel like I'm looking good, and it's going to show on the field. I don't know, it's just I got a lot on my shoulder, and I'm ready to step up to the plate and show what I can do.
Do you like that? Like that there might be some pressure on you?
Oh yeah, I like that. I ain't got no problem with it. It's football. It's my job. There's gonna be pressure some weeks, and then some weeks it's not. You know, it's on and off and stuff like that. So,
how do you deal with that stuff?
I just be myself.
Yeah, there's just no doubt in my mind that Carter is going to step up and be great this year, and I'd say the bigger question marks are guys like Bryce Huff and Jordan Davis, as they're being really heavily relied upon too, and they need to step up, so we'll see what happens. But perhaps the more crucial thing on defense is going to be stopping the Packers' run game and Josh Jacobs, as last year, part of the Eagles' defensive collapse was a result of them just completely losing their ability to stop the run, and we also all know that Josh Jacobs is a dynamic and elite running back in this league, so stopping him is going to be key, and it'll allow the Eagles' defense to just really pin their ears back and then let the pass rush take over. Now overall, I feel good about this game. I think it's going to be very exciting. I think it'll be a tough matchup for both teams, and it'll wind up being close, but I personally have the Eagles winning by a final score of 31-27 and starting the season 1-0. But you guys can give me your score predictions and just all your thoughts on this game down below in the comments, and also while you're at it, again, make sure you guys subscribe and turn on notifications so you're notified instantly when one of these videos is uploaded. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss any of the Eagles coverage I got coming throughout the season, so again, subscribe, turn on notifications, and also drop a like on this video to show some support. It really does help me out a ton. Again, let's see if we can hit 800 likes today, and also if you want to watch another video going over some other Eagles news from earlier in the week, you can check this out right here. And now with that being said, that's pretty much all I got for this one, guys, so thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.